After a brutal fight, the screen flashes clear. Congratulations. His character collapses among the bodies of fallen enemies. He jumps up from his chair, yelling at the top of his lungs. He finally freaking won. Years of grinding, frustration, and failure finally paid off. He throws his arms in the air, celebrating like he just conquered the world. The chat floods instantly. People can't believe it. He just set a world record. The story kicks off with a legendary game: Protect the Empire, Tower Defense, and Dungeon Offense. It's known for being brutally difficult, and after a decade, someone finally managed to beat it. And that someone, yeah, it's him, the proud voice behind the victory, ready to flex his achievement to his viewers. He turns to his chat, all smug and confident, saying, "Every game, no matter how hard, is meant to be conquered." He's not just a gamer. He's a full-on streamer who lives for the grind and the glory. He turns toward the camera, the lens glowing red. This is his battlefield. He specializes in high-difficulty retro games that push even veterans to their limits. Meet Retro Taku. Over 2.3 million subscribers, 172 videos, a name that literally screams his obsession with old-school challenges. As donations flood in from chat, he leans back with a grin. Thanks for the $300 donation. His stream's energy is electric. The guy knows he's built something big, and it's all thanks to his loyal fans. He laughs it off, acting all humble for a second before flipping the switch. Yeah, he's that confident. He knows he's insane at this game. He leans back, thinking, what could top this? Beating one of the hardest games ever. What's left for a gamer after that? Then a chat message pops up, talking about the Saint character's death, how tragic it was. The moment hits him, his smile fades, and silence fills the room. The viewers were attached to the characters. They hoped everyone would survive that brutal final battle. But in the end, everyone except the main hero, Lucas, died. Retro Taku leans back his chair, unfazed. He shrugs it off, saying his only goal was to beat the game, not to do a perfect no-death run. Despite the ending screen showing his flawless victory, Lucas remains motionless in the game world, standing beside the fallen. The world celebrates Retro Taku's win, but inside the screen, Lucas hasn't moved. Lucas stands before the fallen final boss, surrounded by the remains of his fallen allies and monsters. The battlefield silence says everything. Victory came, but at a heavy cost. Back in the real world, the streamer sits quietly in front of his screen. The game's over, yet something about that ending doesn't sit right with him. He can't shake the image of Lucas standing alone. Even though he's just pixels on a screen, that lonely silhouette somehow feels real. He leans back in his chair, staring blankly at the glowing screen. After all that effort, it's finally over. A notification sound snaps him out of his thoughts. He blinks, curious about what just popped up. His chat starts lighting up. One viewer jokes about how the dev should be sending him a reward for clearing their impossible game. He laughs it off, but another comment points out he basically saved the game's reputation by proving it was beatable after all that hate online. He glances at his glowing PC tower and chuckles, realizing what the chat meant. He waves it off, laughing, says he doesn't need any gifts. The fun they had together was enough. Meanwhile, chat's roasting him, calling out how obvious he looks. He throws his hands up, insisting he's not that desperate, then laughs it off, saying the dev's website's been dead for years anyway. He looks down at the game case, the same title that took a decade to finally conquer, realizing there's never been a sequel. It feels like the end of an era. Leaning back in his chair with a satisfied grin, he thinks there's no reason to expect anything else. The devs are gone, the game's dead, and he's moved on. But suddenly, his monitor flickers to life. His calm expression twists into shock as his voice cracks. Wah! Something impossible is happening on that screen. Chat explodes with confusion. Everyone spamming question marks and freaking out. The streamer just stares at the screen, completely lost about what's happening. A strange message pops up out of nowhere. Someone's thanking him for beating the game, like an actual developer or something else entirely. He's just sitting there stunned. The voice continues, expressing relief that he managed to finish it. The streamer nervously laughs it off, brushing it aside like it's no big deal, even though he's clearly unsettled by how real it feels. As the message flashes across the screen, he squints at it, confused. Hope? He mutters, trying to figure out what's even happening. Maybe it's a teaser for a sequel? Another message pops up, talking about skills and qualifications, and inviting him somewhere. He stares at the screen, lost. Qualifications? Skills? What the hell are they even talking about? His eyes narrow, suspicion kicking in. Wait, is this some kind of scam? He scoffs, thinking there's no way an actual developer would show up in his stream. Yeah, nah, I'll just kick this dude. He tries to play it off casually, calling out to the so-called developer on the other side of the screen, but something's clearly off as the monitor starts flickering with static. He laughs it off at first, but suddenly his screen distorts, and his entire body starts glitching like he's being sucked into the game itself. Panic kicks in. He collapses to the floor, disoriented, questioning reality. Did he just play for too long, or did something truly impossible just happen? The screen glows violently, light bending across the room. A faint hum fills the air. The monitor flickers with gold light. The words, "Thank you for playing Tower Defense" and "Dungeon Offense" appear as the streamer collapses out of sight. Silence follows. A bright explosion tears through a reddish-orange battlefield. Energy storms ripple outward, the ground splitting open as something massive descends. The main character's eyes snap open wide. Shock and intensity fill the panel. He roars, "ARRRGH," while stomping the ground, wearing a black military-style uniform with red accents, surrounded by flying debris. Panting, he looks around in confusion and alarm, sweat dripping down his face. He exclaims, "Just now, what was that noise?" The entire ground erupts as a massive explosion tears through the place. Debris shoots up, and even the air feels like it's splitting apart. The guy just loses it. He's screaming his lungs out, totally losing his mind. What the fuck is this? Yeah, he has no idea what's going on, and it's pure panic mode. The shockwave slams him back as the ground cracks open. Everything around him's just chaos. Fire, dust, destruction everywhere. His trembling hand touches the ground, feeling the rumble still echoing through the floor. He struggles to stand, smoke thick around him. His eyes narrow as he catches a whiff of something sharp in the air. Gunpowder. His expression hardens. This wasn't just an explosion, it was a setup. A torch drops. The next second, boom, a massive blast tears through everything, hurling people off their feet as flames spiral out like a storm of fire. He collapses to his knees, completely drained and shaking. The dust settles, but the silence feels heavier than the explosion itself. Blood trickles from his mouth as he stares ahead, dazed and speechless. It's like his brain can't process what just happened. Before he can even breathe, another shockwave hits, sending him flying back into the chaos all over again. He's losing it, yelling over the noise. "Oh, for fuck's sake. Could you SD?" But the chaos around him keeps getting worse. His words stop mid-sentence. His eyes go wide. Something just caught his attention, and it's serious. The camera pans to a tattered red flag, waving in the smoke and fire. Whatever's coming isn't normal. Rows of armored soldiers rise from the smoke, flags waving in the blazing light. He stares in disbelief. What is this? Chaos erupts as the enemy charges toward the fortress walls. Arrows fly, flames roar, and soldiers shout, "Stop them! Prevent them from climbing up." He just stands there, frozen, sweat dripping down his face, trying to process the madness unfolding in front of him. He looks around, surrounded by flames and chaos, soldiers clashing under burning skies. "What's going on here?" he yells, completely lost. Arrows and blades fly. Soldiers are getting cut down left and right. The battlefield's a blood-soaked mess. Breathing hard, he mutters to himself, "Is this the middle of a war?" Realization hitting him like a punch to the gut. A soldier suddenly spots him amid the chaos, eyes widening as he realizes who it is. "Majesty," the soldier yells, sprinting toward him in panic, disbelief written all over his face. He blinks in confusion, completely thrown off. Majesty, he has no idea what's going on. The soldier rushes toward him, shouting, "Are you all right?" Panic and urgency in his voice. He freezes, eyes wide in terror. Enemy. He clearly has no idea what's happening or who this guy is. He stumbles back, screaming, "ARG Chach. Don't come close." His whole body trembling, like he's about to lose it. He screams, "I said stop," while the soldier charges in, completely panicked, falling back on the ground. The soldier freezes mid-step, trembling as he looks at him, sword still in hand. The sword slips from the soldier's grasp and clatters to the ground. Something's clearly not right here. The soldier drops to his knees, bowing in panic. "And my mistake, Your Highness," he yells, trembling. He starts begging, tears streaming down his face. Please spare my life, Your Highness." The guy just stares, completely lost. What the heck is up with this old man? He takes a deep breath, still confused but trying to hold it together. He awkwardly reaches out. Hey, sir," trying to get the terrified soldier to stop groveling. But before he can say more, a swirling green vortex erupts nearby. He mutters, "First of all, calm down," as chaos literally unfolds beside them. His eyes widen in shock. Whatever's happening, it's bad. The ground explodes violently, debris flying everywhere as he's thrown back by the blast. He crashes hard into the ground, grimacing in pain from the impact. He crashes down, groaning as pain shoots through his body. He coughs violently, trying to breathe through the smoke and dust. Realization hits. He grits his teeth. Was that a bomb? His hand starts glowing eerily green as energy seeps out from the ground. A massive green flame erupts in front of him, twisting violently like it's alive. He stares in shock, unable to process it. What in the... A soldier rushes forward, shouting for attention. "Over here!" Another soldier yells out in panic. "The stormtroopers are getting close." The guy turns, startled, his face tense as he realizes things are getting worse. The soldiers scramble to hold their ground, yelling to stop the enemies from climbing the wall. One charges forward with a furious roar, swords slicing through the air. His eyes widen in shock. Something unexpected just happened. Out of nowhere, a soldier gets impaled straight through his chest. Blood sprays as he's lifted off the ground. The protagonist freezes, eyes wide in disbelief, trying to process what he just saw. The soldier's body is violently flung backward, crashing into the ground as chaos erupts around them. A severed arm hits the ground, still twitching as blood sprays across the battlefield. The protagonist flinches as warm blood splatters across his face, shock taking over. He looks down, trembling, as a lifeless body lies beneath him. His expression darkens, something terrifying awakening inside him. Soldiers scream in agony as they're torn apart mid-battle, their bodies convulsing from the impact. Blood rains down like a storm while the protagonist stares, frozen in disbelief amidst the chaos. His voice trembles. He can't comprehend what he's witnessing. Something horrifying and unreal is happening right before him. His voice trembles. Whatever's beyond those walls, it's not human. Heavy, clawed legs slam into the ground, shaking the battlefield. Then it appears, a massive, nightmarish creature with glowing red eyes towering over him. The air turns cold as death itself stares him down. A blinding red light flares up. The creature's eyes charge with killing intent. The monster lunges forward, shrieking as debris explodes around it, shaking the ground. The protagonist clenches his teeth, eyes wide in panic. "A spider? You've got to be kidding me." Soldiers shout as one of them leaps onto the giant spider, trying to pin it down before it can attack again. But the monster thrashes violently, tearing through the air and crushing everything in its path. One soldier trembles in pain. He can't move. His voice shakes as he realizes, "My body, it's not responding." His body freezes up completely. No matter how hard he tries, he can't move an inch. The ground around him is painted red, littered with broken armor and fallen soldiers. His vision blurs, fear taking over. Is this a dream? Or am I just losing my mind? The massive spider towers over him, glowing eyes dripping with venom. He can barely breathe as he mutters, "None of this makes sense." The creature's sharp leg rises, slicing through the air. He grits his teeth and yells, "Don't mess with me." The monster dives straight down, red beams flaring from its eyes as it prepares to strike. Panic flashes across his face as he yells, refusing to accept his fate. Dying like this doesn't make any sense. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the chaos. A blonde soldier, bloodied but composed, looks up and says, "Your Highness." The soldier grips his sword tightly, his tone calm yet heavy, being in denial. A blinding light erupts from his sword, radiating power that cuts through the chaos. His eyes glow blue as he charges forward, the golden beam slicing straight through the massive spider. The ground quakes under the sheer force of his strike. As the dust clears, he stands tall, blade dripping with green ichor, having split the beast clean in two. The dust clears, revealing the blonde knight standing tall, sword in hand, glowing with divine power, as the red-haired prince looks up in awe. The knight smirks confidently, his tone almost teasing. "Isn't that such a boring response?" The prince freezes, completely caught off guard. "Huh?" The blonde knight's expression shifts. His eyes widen as if he's suddenly realized something. He rushes toward the prince, panic in his voice. "Majesty, what has happened to you?" Flames rage behind them as chaos unfolds. The knight grabs the prince by the shoulders, worried. "Were you hurt?" But the prince just stares back, stunned. That face is way too familiar. Lucas walks out from the shadows, his sword and shield catching faint light as he steps into view, standing alone in the darkness. A shout breaks the silence. The man in red points straight at him, shocked. "Lucas!" Lucas looks stunned, eyes wide. He realizes something, his voice quiet but certain. "As I thought." Lucas rubs his head with a pained look, trying to brush it off. He forces a smile and says his head must have taken a hit. He suddenly steps closer, gripping the other guy's shoulders. His tone softens, he's actually happy. For the first time, the man finally called him by his real name. Lucas reminds him how he couldn't even remember it back when he was just his bodyguard. The guy freezes, eyes wide and face red, totally thrown off by what Lucas just said. His brain just goes blank, huh? Lucas looks calm, but a bit puzzled. While the other guy's mind races, he starts questioning if this person in front of him is really Lucas. A realization hits him hard. His eyes widen as panic sets in. He mutters to himself, connecting the dots. If that's really Lucas, then something about this place isn't right. Both of them stand side by side, tense and alert, as the ground shakes and a huge shadow looms over them. Something big just arrived. The entire fortress starts trembling. Flames burst around as the two of them stand on the wall, watching chaos unfold in front of them. Explosions ripple through the stronghold. The walls crumble, fire and smoke spreading fast, lighting up the entire battlefield. Green meteors rain down from the sky. The whole place is under attack, and the guy finally realizes what's happening. The realization hits him like a truck. Sweat drips down his face, his eyes wide with panic. He knows exactly what this means. He mutters under his breath, defeated. "I'm F***. His thoughts race back to moments before all this happened. The last thing he did before ending up here was play that game he mastered, tower defense and dungeon offense, the one he cleared on the hardest difficulty. Then reality slams in. The ground shakes as a monstrous creature appears, its eyes glowing red, drool hissing with acid. The nightmare from that very game is now standing right in front of him. Explosions light up the battlefield as waves of monstrous soldiers march forward, their red eyes glowing through the smoke and fire. The narrator's voice cuts through the chaos, explaining the cruel twist. This world, this game, requires you to fight against. An endless army of giant, armored demons advances, their massive bodies shaking the ground. The sky burns green as fireballs rain down. This isn't just a battle, it's a full-scale invasion. The guy looks out over the battlefield, and his jaw drops. Waves of monsters are flooding in from every direction, fire raining from the sky. His face screams pure panic. There are way too many of them. He finally yells it out loud, voice cracking with despair. It's a fucking hard defense game. Everything fades to white as a single word cuts through the silence. Why? The ground starts pulsing and bubbling with a sickly green light. Something under the surface is alive, and it's moving. Suddenly, the entire thing bursts open. Streams of glowing slime erupt into the air, splattering across the battlefield like toxic rain. The green orbs explode one after another, tearing through the walls and shaking the ground like a chain of detonations. A massive blast erupts. He raises his arm to shield himself as the explosion engulfs everything in a blinding flash of green energy. Through the chaos, his thoughts echo. Just why did I end up entering the game? Amid the chaos, someone shouts, "Your Highness, the Crown Prince." Green projectiles crash down all around as Lucas turns toward the voice. A firm grip. He's pulled back just in time. The blonde knight yells urgently, "The enemy's attacking us right now. They're the Black Spider Army." Explosions rip through the front base, green sludge flying everywhere. The soldier shouts that the defenses are falling apart, but something's off. Those monsters shouldn't even be moving right now. The sun dips lower, painting the battlefield orange. Only 30 minutes until sunset, time's running out fast. Both men ready their weapons as the ground trembles again. Shadows crawl closer, circling them from all sides. Lucas' ally grips his sword tight, shouting for him to hang on. Just 30 more minutes. He's determined to protect him no matter what. Lucas stands frozen, confusion written all over his face. Why is he protecting me? Crown Prince? None of it adds up. The scene shifts into darkness as night falls. His thoughts echo. Just who is the current me? Soldiers rush around the battlefield, checking bodies. One shouts they're still alive. Another calls for a stretcher as the knight oversees the scene, sword still drawn. The knight glances toward the horizon. The sun's nearly gone, meaning the Black Spider Army will soon retreat. Relief flickers across his exhausted face. He turns toward Lucas, battered and silent. "Your Highness," he mutters, his voice shaking as the weight of what just happened sinks in. Lucas stands silently atop the wall, his eyes fixed on the dark horizon. The battlefield is quiet, too quiet. The tension still lingers in the air. The camera pans down to the wasteland below, twisted corpses, shattered armor, and fading green embers. The war zone finally sleeps under the night sky. Breaking the silence, Lucas turns to his knight. "Lucas, when and where are we right now?" His tone is calm, but the question carries something deeper, like he's not the same man anymore. Lucas listens carefully as his knight explains. It's the last day of February, year 649 of the imperial calendar. They're standing at Fortress City, the frontline base of Crossroad. Lucas mutters under his breath, realizing the implication. Then tomorrow, March 1st, year 649, his jaw tightens. The knight nods. That's right. A grim look crosses Lucas' face. This date, this battlefield, it's all too familiar. Something in him knows exactly what's coming next. Lucas grits his teeth, his jaw trembling as realization hits. He knows exactly where he is. He mutters to himself, almost bitterly. That's a given, because for the past 6 months, he's been playing Protect the Empire. And this place? This exact battlefield and date. It's the tutorial mission he's replayed hundreds of times. The realization hits him like a shockwave. His eyes widen. "And he shouts, trembling as the truth bursts out. "I must be Ash." His voice echoes through the battlefield, disbelief written all over his face. "My name, Ash. It's Ash Bonehatter, ever black," he yells, clutching his chest. The name of the character he's played countless times in the game. Now, it's his own. Lucas clutches his head in frustration, screaming out as the knight confirms it. "That's right, Your Highness." His voice cracks. Why? Why did I have to become this bastard? His thoughts spiral, anger and disbelief flooding his mind. He finally remembers. Ashbone Hatter Everblack, the third Crown Prince, the Empire's Psycho, the reckless commander who led Fortress City's army straight to annihilation. Blood spills across the ground as the memory flashes. This character met the worst possible ending in the entire tutorial. Ashbone Hatter Everblack. The realization sinks in, and he screams internally, "Why the hell am I him?" The scene shifts to a quiet night over the commander's private quarters, a momentary calm after the storm. Ash slams his fists against the mirror, shouting at his reflection, "You stupid fool. Why did you leave Fortress City? Why come here?" His frustration echoes through the room. He exhales sharply, rubbing his face as exhaustion takes over. "I'm going crazy," he mutters, staring at the man he's become. The scene flashes back to the game. Protect the Empire, a brutal tower defense title infamous for its impossible difficulty. The game that's now his reality. The game's brutal reputation came from its hardest setting, Hell Mode. Combine that with Sage Mode, which locks every choice and saves your worst mistakes. Together, it's known as Hell Sage, a mode no sane player would dare touch. Yet he did. The only human who ever cleared Hell Sage Mode. He once thought, no matter what happened, he could always find a way out. But that confidence meant nothing, not in this tutorial. Ash screams at the top of his lungs, summoning the system window in panic. This cursed, unbeatable stage mocks him at every turn. The tutorial itself was designed to be unwinnable, starting at the moment Lucas barely escapes a monster invasion alone, leaving everyone else to die. The game's story spans 3 brutal in-game years. And the Black Spider Army? They're late-game monsters, the kind you only face after surviving 2 whole years. Yet here he is, thrown into the start of the game, surrounded by hundreds of them. How the hell am I supposed to beat this? He steadies himself, slapping his cheeks. Come on, focus. You're a veteran player. Think. He reminds himself, this isn't new. He's cleared this game before. He knows every corner, every mechanic. If he can just apply everything he's learned, every strategy, every exploit, there has to be a way to survive this. But then reality hits. His confidence cracks. There's nothing. No trick, no loophole. Just despair. He lets out a hollow laugh, the kind that's halfway between panic and insanity. Yeah, I'm completely screwed. As he scrolls through the stats, his face twists. Level 60 spiders. Over 1,000 of them. Who made this stage a sadist? And it gets worse. The fortress walls are made of paper, and the only usable weapon is a single busted mana cannon. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? He calculates fast. The odds of winning? Practically 0. His eyes narrow, determination kicking in. No, there's always a path. I just need a higher probability. Think, focus, stay calm. He recalls the worst part of Sage Mode. No saves, no retries. One wrong move, and it's permanent game over. Every move has to be perfect. He's learned that after half a year grinding this cursed game. It's all about finding the optimal route every single time. Because no matter how bad it looks, there's always a strategy, always a way to survive. His hand moves fast across the glowing screens. He's diving straight into the plan. He mutters to himself. All he needs is just a slightly better chance, even the smallest edge. His eyes glow cold blue, sharp with focus. Even a bit more certainty, that's all I need. His hand stops mid-air. He's found something? His finger freezes mid-air, eyes widen. Wait, this might be it. His inner voice sharpens. I'm close. I'm looking for the one move that changes everything. A shout breaks through the tension. Lucas! The sound of armor and chaos cuts the calm like a blade. Ash bursts out of his room, yelling, "Where are you, Lucas?" Lucas rushes over, nervous and alert. Without hesitation, Ash commands, "Call the private party at once." His tone sharp and urgent. Lucas hesitates for a second, trying to process it. By party, do you mean your private escort troop? Lucas stammers. You've never summoned them before. Why now? Ash cuts him off urgently. No time for questions. Just summon them, quickly. Lucas flinches as Ash raises his hand sharply, eyes burning with determination. A confident grin spreads across Ash's face. Because I found a way to break through this situation. Ash's gloved hand grips the edge of the table. Steady, composed, ready to take command. Very well, he says calmly, crossing his arms with authority. Is everyone here? The room fills with the sound of boots and armor. His party assembles. The knight stands tall, the cleric bows her head slightly, and the mage leans back silently. The infamous private squad of Ash Everblack gathered once more. Ash scans the room, his sharp gaze steady and calculating. They're familiar faces, he thinks, eyes narrowing slightly in recognition. The girl with the soft smile and a staff in her hand steps forward. Lily. Ken clicks his tongue in annoyance. You can tell he's not happy about how things are turning out. A boy hides his face in his arms. The tension rises as someone whispers, "Is that Damien?" A lone guy sits in front of a computer, hoodie on, eyes cold but calm. He leans back slightly and mutters. Then again, it's understandable. The scene shifts to a haunting red glow. He recalls those faces, knights, priests, all familiar. He's seen them before, but only in stories where they end up dead. His thoughts pause for a moment. By the way, someone notices Damien curled up in a corner, arms wrapped around himself. Confused, she whispers, "Why is he curling up like that?" Then, realizing something, she mutters softly, "Ah." Damien's shoulders tremble. He's trying to hold it in, but the tears keep coming. The weight of loss hits him hard. The woman steps in gently, explaining to the others, "Today, Damien lost a comrade. Please understand." Her tone is calm, but there's sympathy in her eyes. The narration kicks in. He remembers something. Come to think of it, it was like this in the game tutorial too. The patterns are starting to repeat. He recalls the past. Damien was debuffed right from the start. No wonder he was always the first to die. Even though he was technically a healer, he never really made much impact. The protagonist finally speaks up, his tone steady but sharp. Well, first of all, he stands before the group, ready to take charge. From this point on, I'll explain your respective roles in the battle tomorrow. The atmosphere shifts. Things are about to get serious. He starts assigning roles, turning first to the red-haired woman. First, Lily. She stands ready, staff in hand, replying respectfully, "Yes, Your Highness, the Crown Prince." The narration kicks in. Lily's a pyro mage, the team's main damage dealer, hurling fire spells one after another with deadly precision. Then comes the twist. He calmly tells her, "You'll handle the shield. As the main tanker, you'll block the spider's attacks." Lily freezes. "Pardon? I'm a mage, though." Her confusion says it all. He turns his gaze toward Ken. The air gets heavier as he says, "And Ken." Ken's known as a shield knight, always at the front line, tanking everything head-on. His job's to draw aggro, take the hits, and protect the team no matter what. But this time, the order catches him off guard. You will infiltrate the enemy camp secretly and confuse them. Ken freezes, eyes wide. Infiltrate. Confuse? That's definitely not in his job description. He calls out the next name. Next, Damien. Damien sits quietly, still curled up, his face half hidden. The narrator reminds us, as I said earlier, Damien is a healer. A crucial role, a job that's absolutely needed in any game. But then comes the twist. From now on, you'll be the sniper of this party. Your job is to take out the enemy's most important target. Damien just stares in silence, too stunned to respond. He turns to the last one. The last one, Lucas. Lucas stiffens as he's told, "You'll lead the rest of the soldiers and maintain the front line." His face says it all. Pressure's heavy. The room falls silent. Everyone just stands there, stunned. The leader looks around, irritated. Why? What? Say something, guys. Ken's jaw clenches. His teeth grind as anger builds up. He's barely holding it together. Ken slams his fist down hard. Damn it. You call that a plan? The sound echoes through the room. He explodes in anger, shouting, "Are you being serious right now, Your Highness? You've led us the wrong way this whole time. Are you even taking this seriously?" His frustration's been building for a while, and it finally bursts out. The supposed crown prince freezes, sweat dripping down his face. Internally, he mutters, No, that's not me. It's that bastard Ash. He admits it to himself, right? This could understandably sound crazy. The narration cuts in, heavy and foreboding. But this place is a stage that's impossible to clear using normal means. The stakes are far beyond ordinary. A sly realization follows. If so, there's no other way but to clear it in a crazy way, don't you think? He's ready to break every rule to survive. He takes a breath, his tone low but firm. Because of that, Ken, the thought hits hard, I can't chicken out here. There's no backing down now. His eyes glow crimson as he stares Ken down. His voice turns cold and commanding. Right now, are you disobeying the orders of the son of the emperor? The room chills instantly. He's not asking, he's warning. His voice deepens, the glow in his eye burning brighter. And the supreme commander of this front line, the words drip with authority. Everyone freezes, no one dares to speak. Heads drop, eyes avert. The tension wraps around them like chains. Ken stiffens, a cold shiver running down his spine. He realizes he's pushed too far. Ken panics, his voice trembling. Why, Your Highness? I was just... Across from him, the prince's aura flares with dark energy, purple flames twisting around him. The narrator sneers. That's right, Ken. What's in front of you is a crazy madman. He thinks to himself, if I lose my leadership here, it'll be the end for us anyway. There's no room for weakness. He rises from his seat, the chair scraping against the floor. Things are about to escalate. Lily looks confused, tilting her head slightly. He stands before her, calm but tense. The narration cuts in. Because my plan is an impossible and reckless strategy. He slowly reaches for his sword, the blade sliding out with a chilling sound. In one swift motion, he swings. The narration continues. There's a necessity to make them follow me without complaining. His resolve is cold, absolute. A blinding flash erupts. His strike lands hard, the impact echoing through the room. Everyone freezes. Ken, Lucas, and Damien stare wide-eyed, completely stunned by what just happened. Lily looks down in shock. His sword is right in front of her, trembling in his grip. She can't believe what he just did. A piercing scream echoes through the hallway. Raw, terrified, and unmistakably human. He grins darkly, pointing his sword forward. But all of you have the ability to carry out your duties, right? The smirk widens as he adds. That's why, while I'm in the body of a crazy bastard. The narration finishes coldly. I decided to be a bit crazier. The narration cuts in bluntly, lunatic, straight to the point. Ash calmly holds Lily by the shoulder, positioning her forward while the rest of the group stares in disbelief, trying to figure out what the hell he's doing. One of the soldiers snaps, face full of panic and sweat. The prince is a complete lunatic, he yells, realizing Ash just threw their sorcerer into danger. Doesn't he know how important sorcerers are? The soldiers eye Ash with doubt, thinking there's no way they can trust this guy to lead them. Suddenly, Ash grabs Lily's hand and ignites a powerful flame. Its light flares up instantly, shocking everyone in the room. The knights freeze, eyes wide. That's, one of them blurts out, completely stunned by what they're witnessing. Ash smirks, the firelight reflecting in his eyes. Yeah, this is it. He's clearly found something big. The narration kicks in. Even if the devs added this as a joke, it's about to change everything. Turns out, the tutorial characters have hidden specialties, weird abilities that totally contradict their roles. The kind of secret mechanic only a true gamer like Ash would notice. Ash reminds Lily of her past. That time she was attacked by goblins and cut by metal. He's piecing something together fast. He continues, revealing that after that attack, she awakened a hidden power, fiery skin. Her body starts glowing as flames wrap around her. The system window pops up, fiery skin, a skill born from trauma, turning her body into flames to dodge physical damage. As long as she's got MP, she's basically untouchable. Lily looks unsure, her voice trembling as she asks, "Am I wrong?" Ash stays silent, confirming she's right without saying a word. The narration explains, she's a main damage dealer with the defensive power of a tank. In the game, that combo was useless, no way to make it work. But now, this isn't a game anymore. This is real life. And those useless traits might just be the key to survival. Ash's resolve hardens. He's done playing safe. He's going to weaponize Lily's fiery ability to its fullest. The narration cuts in. An unbeatable stage? An impossible tutorial? Ash grins wickedly. If the game's unfair, fine, he'll break it. Then there's no choice but for me to cheat. Ash's eyes blaze with fury and determination. He curses whoever trapped him here, swearing to beat this hell of a game no matter what. He grins darkly, promising that once he's done, he'll drag that person out and make them pay for it. Then, turning back to Lily, he apologizes. His test was harsh, but necessary to prove her power. Lily's confused but grateful. She asks how Ash even knew about her ability. He brushes it off, saying it doesn't matter right now. His expression hardens as he turns his focus to the next target. With a chilling grin and glowing red eyes, he calls out Ken. The terrified knight snaps to attention instantly, stammering in fear. Ash starts exposing Ken's past. The man was once a thief from the slums who fought his way up to knighthood. Ken's face freezes in shock. Ken stammers, completely thrown off, unable to understand how Ash knows all this. Ash smirks, dismissing the question. It doesn't matter how he knows. What matters is how Ken can use that past now. Ken's hidden skill is revealed, survival of a thief. A reflex born from his old life, letting him vanish in danger, though it drains his health fast. Ash presses him, confirming that Ken can cloak himself at will, invisible to everyone around him. When Ken hesitates, Ash's grin turns sharp. His blade glints as he warns, "Answer, or should I prove it again?" Ken panics, yelling that Ash is right. He can do it. Ash just smiles coldly, satisfied that the knight now understands his place. Ash calmly places his hand on the table, gripping a weapon, his tone sharp. He turns his gaze toward the last person in the room and calls out one name, Damien. Damien nervously steps forward, his boots echoing in the tense silence. Ash's voice cuts through, calm but commanding, declaring Damien as the key piece of his entire plan. Leaning closer, Ash smirks and says, "You've got sharp eyes, right? Ridiculously good ones." Ash kneels in front of Damien, voice calm but sharp, reminding him of the friend he lost, forcing that memory to surface. Damien's eyes tremble as he admits it softly, his friend gone forever. Flashbacks hit. Damien recalls the fire, the chaos, and the orphanage where they grew up together. Damien remembers the moment his friend threw himself into danger to save him, the monster towering before them. His grief spills out as he breaks down, demanding answers from the prince. Why did he drag them into this nightmare? Ash's expression hardens. He looks straight at Damien and asks coldly if he thought there was ever some noble purpose behind all this. Ken breaks the silence, bitterness dripping from his voice, wondering if their lives are just a game for the people above them. The knight turns away, his voice trembling as he pleads for the return of his fallen comrade, Ban. Overcome by grief, Damien grabs the prince's leg, screaming for him to give Ban back, his pain finally boiling over. A single flower grows quietly in the corner, fragile, yet surviving through the cracks. The prince places his hand on Damien's shoulder, steady and firm, stopping his trembling. With a cold yet heavy tone, he tells Damien to resent him if he must, to channel all that pain and hatred toward him. The prince reminds Damien that Ban didn't die for nothing. He gave his life to save his. So what's he doing now? Just sitting here, waiting to die? He pushes harder, his tone sharp. Is Damien really going to waste the life his friend sacrificed everything for, just because someone said he's finished? His words echo like a command. You have to struggle. The prince grabs Damien by the collar, his voice sharp, telling him what he really needs isn't mercy. It's revenge. He shouts with raw intensity. Kill that spider, survive this nightmare. Then come find him and take your revenge if you still want it. Damien clenches his jaw, eyes burning through his tears, and finally answers with a trembling but firm voice. Yes. The prince turns sharply, locking eyes with Damien, and asks coldly, Do you want to kill me too? Damien stays silent, his glasses reflecting pure intensity. No hesitation, no fear, just resolve. His answer finally comes, quiet but heavy enough to cut through the air. Yes. The others freeze in shock. No one expected Damien to actually say it out loud. The prince's lips curl into a grin, almost amused by the tension in the room. Good. With a smile that's both fearless and unhinged, he declares, if you make it out of here alive, I promise, one day I'll die by your hands. A guard freaks out, shouting for the prince, total panic energy. The prince gets low-key dramatic, grabs the guard and says if the plan fails, he wants to die in the guard's hands. Intense promise mode. He flashes a calm, confident smile and vows it as imperial family business. Cold reassurance, like he's already decided the outcome. A quiet pause, his voice steady but weighted with conviction. So, even if it's just for tomorrow. The prince looks Damien straight in the eyes. Follow my orders. Damien hesitates, trembling, but says nothing. If I need to, I'll use his resentment as fuel. A vow formed in darkness, cold but necessary. Damien bows his head, trembling, his tears hidden beneath the shadow, silent acceptance of the weight placed upon him. Narration box. Even if that resentment. The prince stands tall before everyone, his voice resolute, is directed towards me. A heavy silence fills the room, the others frozen by his unyielding resolve. The prince clenches his jaw, his voice filled with remorse. I won't make excuses. Due to my devastating misjudgment, our army is on the brink of annihilation. A dark battlefield swarming with monstrous spiders fills the scene. His voice rises with determination. But if we stick to my plan, we can drive them out. It might seem hopeless, but we will win. So just this once. A desperate plea that burns with conviction. The prince looks at them all, voice calm yet commanding. Just this once, will you trust and follow me? Finally, my playing cards are set. Close-ups flash across determined faces. Lily's steady gaze, Ken's clenched jaw, Damien's hardened resolve, and the knight's focused eyes. Each ready to follow him into the impossible. Narration box. Whether this hand is a losing lot or a royal straight flush. A sweeping shot of the fortress. Soldiers rushing to their stations as banners flutter in the wind. The calm before chaos. Narration box. All that's left now is to go all in. The final declaration before the storm begins. The warning bell echoes across the fortress. Soldiers shout in panic. The Black Spider army is coming. The monsters are coming. Chaos spreads as everyone scrambles to prepare for battle. Inside the command post, tension fills the air. A soldier nervously asks, "Will you really be okay, Your Highness?" The prince doesn't even look up. Calm and composed, he just says, "Do as I tell you." The soldiers stiffen and respond immediately. "Why, yes, sir." A massive swarm of spider monsters charges toward the fortress, shaking the ground with every step. The prince's voice cuts through the noise in his head. The plan is simple. While the rest of the party is holding the line, fighting to buy every second they can, the prince sets his sights on the massive figure deep within the swarm. The queen spider, the one controlling them all. His goal is clear. Take her down, and the entire army collapses. And after that, things are going to get real. The soldiers rally around the giant mana cannon as the prince gives the order, kill. The plan's clear. Blow the queen's head clean off with one massive shot. They've already removed the safety seal and pumped the cannon full of mana. The power inside is unstable, raw, and deadly, strong enough that even the queen can't survive it. But there's one problem, her location. The queen is so far away that her command post can't even be seen with the naked eye. She's hidden deep in the distance, out of normal range. Doubt creeps in. Can this plan even work when the target's that far out? The prince smirks under the rain, confidence radiating off him. Map building, he says, eyes gleaming with intent. You've already thought this through. Every step, every angle. A sly voice answers back, almost teasing. Yes, it is. The impossible plan is about to become reality. The prince grins wide, almost unhinged, map creation. His voice drips with confidence like he's about to rewrite the rules. A surge of blue light erupts around him, the air vibrating as his power takes form. He stands tall, cloaked in energy, owning the battlefield like a god. The entire fortress glows, walls, towers, everything wrapped in a shimmering barrier. The prince's ability has activated, and the war map is now his stage. A massive blue dome expands across the land, cutting through everything in its path. Ash's ability is rewriting the battlefield itself. Even the forest animals freeze as the barrier passes through. Ash's map isn't just visual, it's total control over the terrain. He gains a full tactical view of the entire area, a glowing 3D mini-map forming in front of him. Every movement, every enemy, now under his watch. Ash's stat screen pops up, level 1 across the board. Strength, stamina, agility, all pathetic. He laughs it off, though, thankful for at least one saving grace, his unique skill. He scans the glowing map, eyes sharp. Now then, where are you? He mutters, searching for the boss marker like a gamer tracking a final raid target. Suddenly, his expression stiffens. Something unexpected flashes across the map. Ash stares at the glowing screen, eyes narrowing. The boss marker, completely gone. The boss monster's mark isn't here. The narration cuts in. This entire mission was built around finding the enemy queen. But there's nothing. The queen's location doesn't even appear on the map. Whatever they're facing, it's beyond his skills detection. The fortress gates creak open, light spilling in as a lone soldier steps forward. The rhythmic sound of armor and boots echoes, a march toward danger. Ash slides several glowing vials across the table. Take it, he orders calmly. These are the last of the stamina potions left in the fortress. His voice hardens. You'll go out there and distract them. The plan's clear. He's sending someone into the storm so the rest can move unseen. Ash's voice cuts through the tension. Can you do it? The soldier's jaw tightens, sweat trickling down as he nods. He knows what's being asked. It's basically a suicide run. The walls start to tremble, bits of stone falling from above. The enemy's getting closer. Lily grips her staff tight, fear written all over her face. The rumbling grows louder. Ash's next command is coming. Ash's thoughts echo with guilt. He's assigning her a role no one should have to take. He tells Lily to use her flame magic to seal off the entrance if the spiders breach through. She steels herself, trembling but determined. I can do it. I can do it. Outside, the tension explodes. Damien rallies the troops, shouting, "Get into formation." The battle is about to begin. The archers ready their crossbows, bolts locking into place. The air's thick with tension. Everyone knows what's coming. Damien raises his sword, the glint of steel catching the sunlight as a sea of monsters charges from beyond the hills. He roars, "You must endure it. It won't end until His Highness defeats the Queen." Rallying the soldiers as chaos closes in. Damien glances up at the tower. Ash stands tall, calm, and composed. That look on his face can only mean one thing. His Highness is ready. Damien raises his sword high, rallying everyone for the assault. But Ash panics. He's not ready yet. Sweat drips down his face as he mutters, "WA guys? I'm still not." Damien gives the command, "Fire," and flaming arrows rain down, lighting up the sky. The barrage hits dead on, explosions tearing through the horde of spiders as their screeches echo across the battlefield. Amid the chaos, Damien stands tall with a grin, giving a thumbs up like it's just another day at war. Ash stares at the explosion below, completely speechless as Damien proudly stands amidst the chaos. He takes a deep breath. "Okay, let's calm down. Try not to lose it." He reasons with himself. This is just a tutorial. The goal isn't to kill the boss anyway, so the missing boss mark shouldn't be a big deal, right? Ash watches the battle unfold, analyzing the situation. Even in this chaos, there has to be a reserve unit stationed at the rear for emergencies. He reassures himself. There's no way the Queen would be hiding back there. But suddenly, red dots flood the mini-map. Ash's eyes widen. "Damien," he yells. Startled, Damien quickly responds, "Why, yes." Ash urgently grabs Damien's shoulder, pointing toward the mountains. "Over there. Can you see it?" Damien follows his direction, eyes narrowing at the distant landscape. He answers hesitantly, "Yes. I can see dormant spiders." Ash's expression hardens. He only asked to confirm, but now it's clear. The threat is real. Ash looks serious, sweat dripping down his face. "The queen is over there. Can you find her?" Damien's eyes sharpen, his voice low. "By queen." The scene cuts to the terrifying creature, glowing red eyes, monstrous fangs, half human, half spider. "You mean the monster with a spider's body and a human's upper half?" Ash grins fiercely, eyes gleaming with determination. "Found you." Standing confidently beside a massive cannon, Ash says, "Very accurate." Damien, nervous, adds, "But that looks scary." Ash smirks. "You don't have to be scared, because it'll get hit by a cannon soon." Ash commands his troops, "Turn the cannons around. Face them south-southwest." With resolve, he continues, "Damien and I will take precise aim." A soldier shouts, "Finished loading mana. It can be fired anytime." Ash smirks confidently, replying, "Nice." Turning to Damien, Ash commands, "Damien, hold it." Damien looks startled, caught off guard by the sudden order. Trembling, Damien stammers, "Why, Your Highness?" Ash frowns slightly. "What?" Damien looks nervous, clutching the cannon's control with trembling hands. "I don't have the confidence," he admits, his eyes wide with anxiety. "I've never done this before, so even if you entrust me with this so suddenly." Ash's lips curl into a calm, steady line as he says firmly, "Damien." Ash places a reassuring hand on Damien's shoulder. "It's okay even if you miss it." Text box. "I'll take full responsibility." Ash looks serious but calm. "Even if you fail and ruin everything, it's okay. It's all my responsibility." Text boxes. "The results are the commander's responsibility. The soldiers just do what the commander tells them to do." Ash looks at Damien with firm reassurance. "You just need to pull the trigger. That's it." Text bubble. "You'll avenge your friend." Damien's eyes glow intensely as he shouts, "Avenge enemy." A system notification appears. The trait Clairvoyance has been activated. He grips the cannon handle tightly, pulling it back with determination. Blue mana surges through the cannon, illuminating the area as soldiers look on in awe. The gears within the cannon begin to spin rapidly, glowing with magical energy. Blue lightning crackles across the cannon's surface. Ash smirks confidently and says, "Okay, Damien." Ash shouts, "Crush them." A massive surge of blue energy erupts from the cannon, unleashing a devastating blast toward the enemy. The massive beam of blue energy surges past the fortress walls, tearing through the air as spider-like monsters recoil in terror. The glowing mana projectile spirals forward, crackling with lightning and immense destructive force. The energy blast descends rapidly, cutting through the sky toward the distant battlefield with unstoppable momentum. Ash yells triumphantly, "That's right," while Damien stands beside him, stunned by the power they just unleashed. A massive explosion erupts in the distance, resembling a blazing mushroom cloud, shaking the battlefield. Ash quickly calls out, "Scout," as a soldier peers through a spyglass, eyes widening in shock at what he sees. A voice reports excitedly, "Target hit." The soldiers cheer from the fortress walls. "Target hit." It accurately struck, right in the middle of the monsters. Ash smiles confidently as the troops erupt in celebration. Two soldiers pat Damien on the back, grinning. "Amazing, my man. This was your first time doing it, right?" "Ha ha ha." Blushing, Damien replies modestly, "I just did what His Highness said." Damien, still amazed, says, "Once I held the cannon, my body moved on its own," while Ash watches with a faint smile, thinking, "What are you talking about, Damien?" A golden screen appears. It's my trait, Clairvoyance, a trait created due to God's mistake. You can see what you wish to see and solve what you wish to solve. Accuracy, plus 999. A note below reads, a trait that hits the target unconditionally. Ash chuckles behind his hand, thinking smugly, even though I'm a character that can't hold a weapon in this game, I could just have them hold it in here, lol. He can't believe it. His attack actually worked. The plan's hitting perfectly. Grinning, he pumps himself up. As expected, I'm awesome, but mid-celebration, something feels off. He turns just in time to see explosions rip across the battlefield, way off target. What the? Out of the smoke, the massive spiders start crawling again, their glowing red eyes cutting through the darkness. He stares in disbelief. Why are they still moving? The attack should have wiped them out. A soldier shouts in panic, voice trembling. Why, Your Highness? They're moving again. The prince turns sharply, eyes wide and sweat rolling down his face. What is? Something's not right. He grabs his scope and scans the battlefield. A group of spiders over there. They started moving again. He grits his teeth, tension rising as he focuses through the lens. Whatever's happening, it's bad. Through the haze, a massive silhouette glows with eerie green light. Is that? The prince's voice trails off. The monsters start to regroup, forming some kind of shield wall around the queen. A shield formation? He realizes it's a defensive maneuver. A horrifying roar erupts from the swarm. The queen's enraged scream, shaking the battlefield. The prince clicks his tongue in frustration, gripping his scope tightly. The situation's spiraling fast. The monsters let out another deafening roar as their glowing red eyes all turn toward the fortress. Panic spreads through the ranks. Where are they going all of a sudden? One soldier yells. Another shouts, the spiders are on the move. The prince freezes, confusion flashing across his face. Aren't they supposed to follow the queen? Why weren't they affected? He grips his weapon tighter. Don't tell me. A soldier shouts in panic, looking through his scope. There's a big problem, Your Highness. The spiders are. The soldier's voice cracks as he yells. They're rushing toward the core. The spiders surge like a black tide, shaking the ground. The prince clenches his jaw and grins through the tension. Damn it. Your orders are terribly fast for once, Queen.